really is that this was probably the first time in American history that government agencies, namely Office of Economic Opportunity and Economic Development Administration, gave money directly to a tribe in large amounts, on the order of $2 million, really sticking their necks out. And a few key administrators like Secretary Podesta and Jim Wilson, OEO, allowed the tribe to build a very expensive dike with a lot of risk and said, okay, sink or swim. And they swam very well. And this, unfortunately, usually goes out to some contractor. The tribe doesn't feel involved as a result. Somebody else's idea, and it doesn't generate the enthusiasm. The Lummies went through crisis after crisis, and as any contractor would, survived, and as a result, they've gone on to many more things because of the motivation and the strength, I think, that came from this pressure that they were under and their ability to respond to it. So,
and the money went directly to them, and they were able to control it, which is rare.
There were no civil servants. All of us that work for the tribe can be hired and fired today or tomorrow or whatever. And so we can't quit at 5 o'clock. We, along with the tribal members, have to work through the weekends, etc. And a very different thing from a civil service job where you do it at your own pace, so to speak.
Let's roll the film and tell us what we're looking at as we do it. Here it comes. We're rolling.
The Lummie Indians are one of the many Northwest tribes whose culture has been close to the sea. They're expert fishermen, but now they're growing fish. This is a rainbow trout that was grown in seawater, something that's unusual in itself. They get a better flavor, better texture, and grow faster. They now have about 300,000 of these. We'll have 1 million next year growing in saltwater. Here you see seed oysters under a microscope. They have the first oyster hatchery in the Northwest. They prepare seed for sale, as you see here, or they grow it themselves in a tray, a very much more modern way of doing it. Here are about 50,000 Lummie oysters on a single tray being sorted to different sizes, and then they're placed out in the sea pond. This allows quality oyster production. They can produce oysters year-round, regardless of the summer season, by controlling where they put the oysters, controlling growth rates, and automatic seed selection for better qualities. Here's one of the Lummie workers who is now an expert. About 80 people have been trained. This is the Lummie Indian oyster hatchery. It's built on the Indian longhouse design using Indian culture, modifications to let the light in through plastic surfaces. The assistant director of this is a Lummie who started out as a carpenter and is now one of the experts in this field. A crew of about 10 Lummies operate all phases of what is now probably the most modern oyster hatchery in the North American continent. From the air, you see the beginning of the dike, which the Lummies built themselves. They ended up purchasing about 10 trucks in the process. Built 3 miles of dike between the tides, a very difficult and risky thing to do. But as a result of this enterprise, they branched out into other things, such as home building. They built 40 houses on their own in 6 months, first class, and they're now going to build 60 more, eventually 400 homes. This is not contracted out, but it's joint ventured with 2/3 of the workers being Lummies. Here's the sea pond, 700 acres, a 3-mile dike. You can see the plankton bloom inside, which is food for the oysters. Which gives you some idea. There is no other sea farm of this kind, and there are about 75 jobs. 90% of the workforce is Indian, and eventually it will be 100% Indian.
Yeah. Not all that. Not all Indians are so lucky to come up with a solution to their problems like this. And Reverend Wright is Paiute from Nevada, I guess you say. And they've got a tremendous problem with their water rights. What is it?
Dick, I enjoyed the little film that Wally had presented, and also with Sam Kagi. With Indian water rights, it's been piddled with. It's been actually really been taken for granted by a lot of people, and I feel that the tribes really utilizing their water resources, such as the Lummies or any other tribe. I feel that we have to utilize this thing. We have to, not only we have to fight the state governments, state entities, state jurisdiction over water rights. we have to fight the United States government. In fact, it was failed, as Mr. Marland said, that the Supreme Court just yesterday had refused to accept our case in Pyramid Lake Supreme Court. What this means, really, as far as if you want to know my aspect of any water rights, is that what this means when the Supreme Court denied to take the case was that they will put this thing back into to Nevada, who is the ultimate enemy of Indian tribes. I suppose I can cry and cry and cry as far as knowing this thing can happen. Now, who is the one to make the decisions as far as taking care of people? I mean, we're people. I think we are the ultimate people of Indian people. And yet, we have to contend with the courts to feel that we,
What about your senators?
I think we have good, strong representation as far as senators. Our own, and of course, if you want to go in depth, I think that Senator Kennedy and Tunney went to bat for the tribes, also for others too. When we're talking about the Indian entity of resources of Indian tribes. How this can help, I don't know. I know watching your show a little bit before, talked with Mr. Brando that it's a little bit what you were saying, that you made some of your comments a little hilarious as far as the Indian people are concerned. Of course, I laughed. But I don't feel this way. I think it has to be said that if you're going to say something like this on national TV, of hurting another tribe, fine and dandy. Apparently play your tribe is speaking on our behalf, but this is my people. I don't condone anything like that. Nevertheless,
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
we have to, actually what we're doing is contending with the government, really, which is very good. Maybe Sam can probably elaborate a little bit as far as the Lummies are concerned, and as far as the Velbay case, and something maybe can relate to the Pyramid Lake case. As far as
I interrupted because we got to take a message.